All right, this is Mark Ronson, Uptown Funk, and we're going to deal with 1, 2, 3, big time major fills. Let's get down to business right now. All right, we're going to blast through these in chronological order. They're all at the end of the song in the outro section. First one is going to sound a little something like this. Take note, there's a couple flams in there. There's a bunch of flams in this song. If you don't know what a flam is, have never played a flam, or are struggling with playing flams, just leave them out. You don't need to mess around with flams to make this sound great. Without the flams, it's just going to sound like. Nothing really to it. If you're struggling with that rhythm, I would suggest just try to sing along with what I'm doing here. I'm going boom, ka, boom, boom, boom. Boom, ka, boom, boom. This is a classic instance of a rhythm that on paper is going to actually look maybe a bit complicated, but if you're just thinking about what this sounds like, most people, most students, most drummers are going to be able to replicate that sound on the drum set. No big deal. If you want to take that a little further, the interesting part at the end there, ga boom, that's a nice little phrase. We could move that around the drum set and kind of have some fun with that. Mash it up with a rock groove, could sound like this. You could also, as I was getting into there, make this into a little groove. Moving on, fill number 2. This one is going to require some faster hands. Very simple though, check it out, we're going like this. So, one slippery little moment at the end there going. Right, so you can imagine we're taking 4 16th notes, group of 4 notes, and we're just making that first one into a bass drum. And whenever I'm playing this sort of rhythm, I'm always thinking left, right, left with the hands afterwards. Not always, but most of the time. So we're thinking bass, left, right, left. And this is a great thing to practice all over the drums in a variety of ways. To be thorough, and I always do, you could also try practicing sticking that right, left, right. And you could also mash up those 2 stickings, leading with the left hand, then with the right, alternating. Definitely getting some interesting sounds that way. Okay, back to the fill. So the first 3 quarters of the fill is the boring part. All we're doing here is we're going. So up until that funky little piece we were just investigating there, all that's happening is. Alright, and we got bass drums lining up with counts 1 and counts 2 there, 8th notes in the hands. quite a simple phrase. If you really want to mess around with this and get extra comfortable with it, you could also move this around the drum set. Right, and it's nice to do that in this case because in Uptown Funk, there's literally no toms, right? And there's a couple instances of cymbals, but very little. So have some fun with the meat that they're giving you there, and involve the rest of the drum set. Get everything in there and happening. Okay, fill number 3. In some ways, I like to think about this one as being the easiest because it's tied in directly with what's happening in the horns in the song, which is ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-ga. That's our ending, right? It's the last bar of the entire song. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Mostly snare drum. I like to stick just a bass drum at the end of there, just to make it sound a little bit final. You could also put that to a cymbal and then choke it. That might sound nice. That sort of idea. At speed. Right, so there's lots of different ways that you could dress up that ending note and make it sound a little bit more punchy, right? So what is this rhythm? It's highly syncopated. So honestly, I suggest to all my students, I would usually write this out for people and have them count it, and that's usually very, very difficult. And so what I usually say to my students is, just sing this back to me. Ka 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 ka. Right? And most of the time that's fairly simple for people to do because you can hear it as the melody at the very end of the song there. Da 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 da. Right? And I think it's actually a lot easier to learn this by ear. So, if you're struggling with this, try to sing that rhythm along with me playing it. Now, if you want to get granular with it, and I do, I want to be thorough and granular. The sticking, we're alternating, and then on these two offbeat 16th notes, on the E and the Ah, we're going to go 2 left hands. And then back onto the right for count 3. Last note, doesn't really matter, could be any stick. I think it's easy to play with the right or the left. But as always, we can move it around the kit. Okay, that's the meat of the song. Those are the important parts to kind of hit on and get you going on this. Hope everyone's having a great day. If you're interested in taking this a little bit deeper, checking out some more content, you can find me on Patreon. I'm putting up longer, more in-depth lesson videos there. But I hope everyone is staying safe, staying healthy, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao.